many of us traditional artists can agree. We've put many hours into our practice and worked our little butts off for months, and actually more likely years, to get to where we are today in our artistic journeys. The thought of this weird thing on our computer coming along and generating something that is taking us our whole lives to create is kinda, well, shit, if I'm gonna put it bluntly. Someone with no technical skill, not an ounce of creativity, and zero passion for the craft now has the power and ability to create a piece of art in a matter of minutes. Honestly, technology can be a little freaky deaky, and I'm guessing it probably scares you a little bit too since you clicked on this video. But what if I shifted your perspective from one of fear to one of excitement and inspiration? Today we're going to talk about AI from a traditional artist's point of view, why it doesn't faze me and why it shouldn't faze you either. I've always been an old school type of gal. I prefer to walk than take a car, buy clothes in a store rather than online, and up until a few years ago, preferred to bank in person rather than online. But over the last few years, I've started to feel more comfortable with the idea and realize that most technology does more good than it does harm. It has given us the ability to connect with audiences that we probably would have never connected with before. We can reach out and ask for opportunities, build networks, and stay in touch with family, friends, and clients instantly. You know, gone are the days of attaching a note to a bird and it flying around and miraculously ending up in the hands of the person you intended it to. And, you know, not to mention, technology makes a lot of people's lives a hell of a lot easier. And I guess birds' lives too, for that matter. Instead of having a negative attitude about how the world is changing with AI, think about how much your world and your art can change with the use of AI. We can use AI to our advantage to create intricate pattern ideas, reference photos, create outer-worldly worlds with weird shit that no one has ever seen or heard of, and use these things as a base to add to or intertwine with our style. You know, it's kind of like AI is adding a twist to a twist, if you know what I'm saying. If you don't, let's keep moving. This would probably take you hours before AI came into the picture. You would have to research and scan through hundreds of images and combine these references together on Photoshop or even by hand. Now, with the click of a button, we have the exact image that was in our head right at our fingertips. Not only will it speed up our preparation process for creating work, but it will also speed up the processes that go on behind the scenes of marketing yourself as an artist. Writing artist statements, writing blog posts, Instagram posts, YouTube scripts. AI can create a general outline, bring up some amazing points, and then you can tweak it to your liking and make it a little bit more you. I really believe AI is a tool that us artists can use to level up our work and push our limits farther than they have ever gone before. But we gotta touch on the big question, the one that worries most artists. What about AI stealing artwork, taking influence from artists' work, or even blatantly copying it? My answer to that is, you're worried about that now? I mean people, like real life people that should have a conscience, but clearly don't, have been copying people's work for years, centuries even. For example, one of the biggest art fraud schemes in history got discovered not too long ago by Northern Ontario police. It involved fraudulent paintings being sold using my favorite artist of all time's name, Norval Morrisseau, racking in over $100 million. When you really think about it, it's not AI we have to worry about. It's shitty, greedy people. AI doesn't just rip off artists' work on its own. There's a real human being behind the machine giving prompts for it to do so. Things that are produced by a machine are often seen as less valuable. Well, when it comes to things like art, at least. Let's compare digital artists to traditional fine artists. You'll see that although both skilled and talented at what they do, a traditional artist's work will always go for more because it is considered one of a kind. A digital artist's work can be replicated so easily with the click of a button, whereas a traditional painter creates one painting that can't be replicated with the push of a button. So obviously it's going to be a little bit more valuable. People value people, their time, things that are handmade, and scarcity. The longer something takes to create, the more valuable it is. The more scarce that thing is, the value automatically goes up. Putting a face or a name to a work of art also inherently increases the value. Let's take the Mona Lisa, for example. There are thousands of reproductions, posters, stickers, postcards, you name it. But none of them are as valuable or will ever be worth as much as the original. So, do I think AI will replace artists? Not a chance. But I do believe that artists utilizing AI to their advantage will ultimately get ahead. So, just embrace it, get creative with it, and make it work for you, not against you. Until next time, keep creating, my friends.